I'm Amanda Daly, and my business is called The Turnaround CEO. I'm a business consultant and a business coach. I work in the SMBs, and my main focus is on leadership and succession. I work with leaders, I work with the staff, and basically what I actually do is help businesses grow. I think a coach for me is somebody that helps build up awareness. I think a coach for me is someone that helps unblock potential, and helps people and businesses grow. There's so many of us that get tied into limiting beliefs and false beliefs about what and who we should be, and even how a business should perform and how a business does perform. So a good coach for me is somebody that works on that, makes it stronger, grows people, and also develops a culture within the business that fulfills everybody. People might know me through an IT and telecoms business. I was actually part of that for 23 years. During that time, we actually went through a number of dramas, a number of issues within the business. As many businesses that long, we went through a massive recession, we went through massive culture changes, we actually had to go through big product changes as well. The cloud and technology all emerged, and basically the whole setup of the business had to change quite drastically. My main part within the business was sales, but during the last 8 years I actually took over as the MD. During that time, we actually grew the business by over 50%, and we took it from a 1 million business up to a 2 million business as well. I've got 23 years of sales. That's actually coming in really strong with my clients right now. It's actually creating the opportunities and the ideas to help bring life into a business, to look at things differently. I also bring in quite a lot of sales training. I'm very much of the mindset everyone in a business is sales. So we actually help encourage and work with people to actually help increase sales within the business. One thing I am as well is I'm very strategic. So before we actually really work on sales, what we actually do in the business is start really building up the blue bricks. For me, if you haven't got the blue bricks in place, the foundation and the processes, I think if we grow sales too quick, we'll create the colander effect. And that is, you're bringing too many sales in or bringing sales in, and we're actually losing quite a lot of margins from doing so. So we really make sure as well that the business is in the place to actually cope with all of that. I've got quite a bit of marketing background. I know that I'm working with Unity as well, but we actually create the environment as well from which people will want to buy from as well. And we create actually a nice culture within the business. Part of what I actually do, and through my own experiences, was to look at succession. I actually admitted earlier on I became a workaholic, and to a certain degree I became the bottleneck with the business. And it took me a long while to see that being the leader doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do everything. But when it's your own business, you actually become so passionate, and it's difficult sometimes to let go. And when you don't let go, they're the exact problems that you create. You always in your mindset think nobody can do the job quite the same as you. And you're probably right, they don't. But that doesn't necessarily mean that other people can't do it better. Or if other people do some of your work, what it actually does, it frees you up to actually work on the business. A lot of the time we do things that are in our comfort zone, and something that I do is break people out of the comfort zone. I'll actually take them into areas that perhaps they're not confident with, or maybe that they're not looking at. I'm a great person that always says you don't know what you don't know. And part of what I do is create an environment where we start looking outside of the box, and where we start taking people into different areas and different comfort zones to start growing the leader and also the staff. Through being a leader, I know how difficult it is to let go. And I know how difficult it is also when your staff don't actually step up, and also when there's little accountability in the business. So again, with my skills, what we actually do is driving accountability within the team, but we also make that a really, really nice place to be, so that the leader can start letting go and the staff starts stepping up to accept more responsibility. Again, we start then just creating an engine that really starts moving. There's numerous things that I look to help and achieve with people. The first thing that I'm very passionate about is the leader, about succession. And when we talk about succession, it's not necessarily about selling a business. It's not actually about sometimes, not being there in the business. It's about having a leader to be able to have a life, to be able to have a couple of days off, a couple of weeks off, and to actually know that the business is still okay there without them. It's actually making other people step up, and for the leader to actually enjoy, to have a work-life balance. So many of us just get so caught up in business that we actually forget the other side of us, which is a life. Then what we actually find out is family struggles, there's the marriage issues or whatever. We're just not spending time on ourselves. So the SMBs that I work for are mainly the people that are owner managed businesses that actually are caught on a hamster wheel of really trying to grow it. And the mindset is the more that they do, the more that it will grow. Whereas actually opposite, sometimes I actually try and pull people back to slow them down, to give them more time to think and more time to delegate. So they're the kind of businesses that I really work with. I think mindset is a huge important thing. And right now, especially with all that's going on, mindset can move to scarcity and mindset can just move to finance. And yeah, that is massively important. Don't get me wrong. We actually work on cash flow. We actually work on money. We actually make sure that the business knows exactly where it is and where expenses are, and how to control cash. That is crucial. But at the same time, if you just focus on money and if you just focus on scarcity, it actually can create a mindset that's not actually pushing the business forward. A great coach of mine that I've used for absolutely years talks about three great sentences, and that is: thoughts create feelings, feelings create actions, and actions create results. So if we're actually coming from a thought set of scarcity, if we're actually coming from a thought of worry, what actually thoughts and feelings are you actually going to create? So actually, are you creating the right actions that are actually going to be creating results? I would guess not. So a coach actually will challenge somebody. A coach will actually get them stepping out there and doing things that possibly that they think that they can't do, or come up with new ideas and actually get them out of the comfort zone. Often it's our limiting beliefs, we're imposter syndrome, or we can't do that, or I'm not allowed to do that, or that's greedy, or that's wrong. And often it's these mindsets that keep us where we are. So what a coach does is really build up on what somebody wants to achieve and really works on the intentions and really helps that person get over their own barriers and to achieve what it is that they want to achieve. Sometimes, yes, some people can do it by themselves, but often we actually just get lost. We just get lost in our own feelings. We just get lost in our own thoughts, and probably just don't do sometimes what we should be doing. Best way is through my website, which is www.ttceo.co.uk. On there, you will actually find some time slots. Because of the unprecedented times, I am here to help people. So what I'm actually offering is free consultancy for businesses that just actually want to explore, just get a little bit more creative, just perhaps look at the structure, just look at how we can actually get ready for the comeback, because that is one thing that we need to think about. We need to put the accelerator on so hard. We need to be ready. And also, what is there now for you? Yes, we're all going through difficult times, but there is still business out there. There is still mindset to actually go on and do things. So that is what this consultancy is there for, to explore and hopefully to encourage.